The dumbest version of everything. A couple weeks back, an American Gene with a J, not Gene with a G, that's important later, brand, hired an attractive, young, smart, famous actress to do an ad campaign. According to my exhaustive research and interviews with countless marketing experts and thought leaders, these campaigns tend to perform better than those involving unattractive and charisma challenged brand reps. The campaign launched on July 23rd. The company's stock skyrocketed in the days and weeks that followed. Everyone went home happy. Just kidding. This is America, and the script always has to unravel in the dumbest way possible. But first, the economics. American Eagle first opened at the 12 Oaks Mall in Novi, Michigan in 1977. The company went public in 1994. It's been an up and down ride for investors, with the stock hitting all-time highs around $37 in 2021 before plummeting to single digits as of a couple weeks ago. Like much of retail, AEO, American Eagle, has gotten dragged out to pasture by Amazon. Then, our blonde superhero with great genes came riding into the rescue, and the stock quickly gained $350 million in market cap. This is a massive increase when you consider the total value of the company is just over $2 billion. The ad involves a play on words in which Sydney Sweeney talks about her, quote, great genes, and now her genes, again quotes, are blue. If I can be so bold as to read between the lines, there is perhaps a twist of phrase here in which genes with a J are a double entendre for her genetic genes with a G that have made her what's the word I'm looking for? Hot. Because this is America, we simply can't have nice things. A woman getting paid to help a brand make a clever or entertaining ad, and in turn help the brand make money, is too much to process. Almost immediately afterward, the viral videos on social media and other media outlets started the discussion about eugenics, with some even going so far as to call the ad, seriously, Nazi propaganda. Seriously, because Sydney is white with blonde hair and blue eyes. Next, someone, of course, had to dig up the fact that Sydney is a Republican. Insert dramatic gasp right here. This type of thinking requires a couple of psychological forces to be at work. The first one is hostile attribution bias. The concept was invented by Kenneth Dodge in the 1980s. It refers to the tendency to attribute ambiguous social signals as intentionally hostile. For example, you walk into a room and see someone laugh and assume that they are laughing at you. Or see an ad featuring a blonde woman with blue eyes and assume it is an attack on you for not having blonde hair and blue eyes. The second psychological force at play here is zero-sum thinking. It's associated with scarcity mindset, which is the idea that there is a limited amount of pie and every piece someone gets has to come off someone else's plate. For example, you would see it in someone who assumes a wealthy person could only have gotten that way at someone else's expense. Or that putting a woman who looks a certain way on an advertising campaign takes from the plate of women who don't look like her. If you're thinking hostile attribution bias and zero-sum thinking are close cousins, trust your instincts. I know what you're thinking. Yeah, Matt, I hear you, but why does any of this shit matter? In a vacuum, it sort of doesn't, but we don't live in a vacuum. In the 2024 election, 56% of young men age 18 to 29 voted Republican. In contrast, the Democrats held a 23 percentage point advantage in the same demographic in 2020. In short, this is enough to swing an election. And it did. What's startling about the 56% number is that only 43% of this demographic identifies as Republican. An inquiring mind might interpret this to mean many of them aren't really voting for a Republican, but rather against a Democrat. Hey guys, we're taking a quick break, but before we get back into it, if you're enjoying this episode, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps us to keep bringing you more valuable content. And if you're on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, don't forget to leave a review. Please, it makes a huge difference. All right, let's get back to it. Comedian Mark Morone had a joke the other night. Quote, progressives have a buzzkill problem. You do realize that we annoy people into fascism, right? I'll say that again. Progressives have a buzzkill problem. You do realize that we annoy people into fascism, right? It's admittedly difficult to quantify the exact impact, but many young male voters simply said that the left is just not fun. Post-election surveys showed that many saw Democrats as condescending, too serious, or morally scolding. Nothing can simply stand alone as being cool or fun. There's always a bigger story at play here. A famous actress can't simply do an ad and help everyone get paid and go home. It turns into a, but what does this mean for society at large, mental gymnastics in which we try to determine who should be offended. Life quickly turns into a walking, breathing Huffington Post think piece. In short, quit doing weird shit. You know, like referring to a group of millions of people as if they are a singular organism named BIPOC, or maybe my favorite, Latin X. Seriously, guys, the party who claims to not see color literally makes everything about color. Stop it. It's condescending. If you go to the Democratic campaign website from 2024, there is a list of 16 groups that they, quote, represent. The list includes elderly people, disabled, women, LGBTQ, etc., which, for the record, should all be included, of course. But when you total up the math, the 16 groups amount to 76% of the US population. The 24% not included? Young white males. At some point, you're not advocating for the 76, you're discriminating against the 24. If your retort is that white males have had a leg up for centuries, you're right. If you mention that young white males are struggling badly in today's America, you are also right. They are the swing vote, and they aren't happy with the status quo. So it's time to decide which way you want them to swing. Ignore them as a voting bloc at your own peril. To be fair, Republicans 100% played into it because, duh. The far right was quick to compare the success of Sydney's campaign to the fact that Jaguar's woke campaign featuring a trans model resulted in a 97.5% drop in European car sales. Technically true. The small detail they left out, Jaguar was going through a rebrand at the time and didn't have any inventory to sell. As Stephen Rivers of carscoops.com mentioned, they made the campaign knowing they would not sell anything. But are you surprised? It's electorally effective. This is the Republican sandbox, and Dems playing in it just ensures they end up with a black eye. Or another slaughter at the 2026 midterms. Another election cycle talking about bathroom signs and drag queens instead of Medicare and tax policy. I'd like to think the left has learned something from 2024, but the writing on the wall says otherwise. Do you want Medicare? Or do you want a larger conversation about a fucking American Eagle ad? That is a wrap for today's episode. Thanks for tuning in to the Saucetown Investor. If you got value from this, drop us a comment and let us know your thoughts. Did you have a big takeaway? Is there a topic you want to see us cover next time? Is there a guest you want to see interviewed? DMs are open. Business is at Saucetown Properties, and my personal, you can DM me personally, is at The Real Matt Cox 4. We'd also like to ask you kindly to please like and subscribe. You can also follow along with the Saucetown Investor blog. That's mattcox444.substack.com. Thanks again, guys, and until next time, keep investing and stay saucy, Saucetown.